Am I on? Can you hear me? Oscar. Oscar.
I don't. Oscar.
Oscar.
Mine's.
Hello? Oscar.
Testing.
Oh, this could be on.
Hello? Yeah.
Testing. Oscar?
Hey, Oscar, could you somebody come in here and just make sure the mic's working here? We'll get started in lieu of that, but... Hello? Nope.
No, I didn't.
Oh. Can I borrow your mic? Okay, sorry, folks. We got a mic issue that we're going to work on. But in the meantime, we're going to call this meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. And in compliance with Chapter 551, Open Meetings of the Texas Government Code as amended, I call to order a meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Austin School District for Monday, December 12th, 2011 at 7:11 p.m. And the board may meet in closed session to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duty, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, deliberation of the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, deliberation of negotiated contract for prospective gift to the district, deliberation about commercial or financial information that the board has received from business prospect, and/or consult with, or the deliberation of offer of financial other incentive to a business prospect. Sorry, getting distracted up here. And/or consult with legal counsel regarding pending or contemplated litigation on or have an offer or on a matter which the school legal counsel determines should be confidential in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections 551.074, 551.072, 551.073, 551.087, and 551.071, respectively. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move approval.
Is there a second? Second, Mr. Torres. All in favor of that motion, please raise your right hand. Passed unanimously. Thank you very much. Let's actually, let me make sure we approve the agenda. But my understanding, and I'm going to ask for a second motion, is that item 13.1, Dr. Christopher, is this correct, is being pulled off the agenda for tonight and will be rescheduled to a dialogue session
On January 23rd.
January 21st. So can I have a motion to pull that item off the agenda?
Do it at consent.
I thought we did that on consent.
Let's just do it now, then we get it off the agenda, and then we'll approve the entire consent
Move
agenda.
approval, the removal of item 13.1.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Mr. Schneider. All in favor of that motion, please raise your right hand. Thank you very much. Okay. We're getting ready to get to the pledge, but I want to highlight and I want to thank the AAPSA, of which many members are here, for the flowers. Thank you for your gifts this evening. But we needed to move them so people could see our faces, although I think the camouflage may not be a bad idea at all times tonight, but for the benefit of the meeting, we'll move them down here. Thank you very much for the generosity, and I hope everybody has a happy holidays. Okay, let us move, because we've got some students here who we are looking forward to having, but at the same time, my guess is they may want to look forward to leaving at some point when their duties are done. So can we please welcome these incredible students from Jordan Elementary School. Who are going to lead us in the pledge, and the pledge the Texas flag in both English and Spanish. And if you'll notice their attire, that's something for all of us to keep in mind today. You're in charge. What would you like us to do?
Good evening. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Juro lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Honro la bandera de Texas, es lealtad a un estado bajo Dios, uno e indivisible.
If y'all could please introduce who's with us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, good evening, Dr. Christopher.
President Williams, Vice President Torres, and our own Cheryl Bradley from District 1. Thank you for having the Barbara Jordan Safety Patrol. They're here today. They're represented by the 6th graders, 6th grade scholars. Lisbeth Salinas, please wave. Luz Martinez. And then at 5th grade, we have Miguel Martinez, Maria Morales, Litzy Santana, Ana Martinez. In our 4th grade, we have Jasmine Haywood and Dominique King. Our coordinators are our librarian, John Garcia, with his young son that could not wait to put on a safety patrol outfit, Armando, and our counselor, Cristela Garcia, and our assistant principal could not be here tonight, Sonia White, and I'm Mrs. Vallejo, the principal, the proud principal of Barbara Jordan.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for these students.
Thank you for having us.
Hold on one second. We got plants down here. Maybe we should go down there because I'm afraid that the kids will be tripping over the plants. Or will we trip over the plants? I don't know. One of us.
How much does it cost? Yeah, but why do we live here? Does it pay out dividends and all that? How you doing,
Okay, I know the folks are leaving, but there are also some family in with the kids, so continue to give a big round of applause to all of them. Okay, well, we've got about 25 minutes allocated, but it may or may not be enough. We'll see how it goes, but this is always one of the more fun aspects of our jobs, is the opportunity to recognize so many campuses and principals and leaders and their entire team for the great work that they've done on behalf of our students. So, Dr. Cruz.
Okay. President Williams, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Karstarfin. I'm so proud and excited to introduce to you the schools that earned the exemplary and recognized ratings, and also campuses that earned gold performance acknowledgments from the Texas Education Agency. We extend our congratulations to the 65 elementary schools, 8 middle schools, 8 high schools, and 4 alternative education schools that we are recognizing tonight. To reach the recognized and exemplary ratings, campuses must meet stringent requirements for dropout rate, completion rate, and the performance of English language learners. Moreover, to earn the recognized rating, a campus must meet the 80% standard for each subject area on the TAKS, and 15% of students must achieve the commended levels of performance in reading, English language arts, and mathematics. In spite of an increase in state standards last year, 33 schools achieved a rating of recognized. A campus, for the exemplary performance, a campus must meet the 90% standard for each subject area, and 25% of students must achieve commended performance in reading, English language arts, and mathematics. In spite of an increase in state standards last year, 23 schools achieved a rating of exemplary. For gold performance acknowledgments, the Texas Education Agency recognizes campuses for high performance on a number of academic indicators, including advanced courses, dual enrollment, AB/IB results, advanced placement, international baccalaureate results, attendance, college-ready graduates, commended performance, comparable improvement, recommended high school and distinguished achievement program graduates, SAT and ACT results, and the higher education readiness standards. For this portion of the agenda, each associate superintendent will announce their schools along with the campus recognitions. I will begin with Edmund Oropez, the associate superintendent for high schools.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. President Williams, members of the Board of Trustees, and Dr. Karstarfin, tonight I present you for recognition principals and teachers representing our 9 high schools and 3 alternative campuses that have achieved exemplary or recognized ratings and or have earned gold performance acknowledgments from TEA. I'm going to start to my right Aikens High School, Principal Daniel Gerard, Gold Performance Acknowledgement for Commended Performance in Social Studies.
Okay, so we can give everyone an applause as we go through it, or we can give a big round of applause. What would you prefer, Edmund?
At the end, sir.
Okay. So hold those applause, same in your mind, and then we'll act on it at the end.
But it has to be big.
Big. Okay, I got you. They deserve it.
Anderson High School, Principal Donna Hauser, four Gold Performance Acknowledgements for Advanced Placement, IB Results, College Ready Graduates, Commended Performance in Social Studies, and Texas Success Initiative Mathematics. Dr. Lucio Calzada in Austin High School, 2 Gold Performance Acknowledgements for College Ready Graduates and Commended Performance in Social Studies. Bowie High School, Principal Stephen Kane, recognized rating from TEA, and 4 Gold Performance Acknowledgements for Advanced Placement Results, College Ready Graduates, Commended Performance in Social Studies, and Texas Success Initiative in Mathematics. Eastside Memorial High School at the Johnston campus. Representing here is Mr. Rob Cheshire, our history teacher, 1 Gold Performance for Advanced Placement Results. Garza High School, represented by Mr. Sam Watson, assistant principal. College Read 2 Gold Performance Awards, College Ready Graduates, and Commended Performance in Social Studies. Lhasa High School, our teacher, Malhaz Jablaze, an AP Economics teacher representing Lhasa, exemplary rating from TEA, and 11 Gold Performance Acknowledgements for the following: Advanced Course Dual Enrollment Completion, Advanced Placement Results, College Ready Graduates, Commended Performance in Reading and ELA, Commended Performance in Mathematics, Commended Performance in Science, Commended Performance in Social Studies, Recommended High School Program Distinguished Achievement Program, SAT and ACT results, Texas Success Initiative in English Language Arts, and Texas Success Initiative in Mathematics. McCallum High School, Principal Mike Garrison, 2 Gold Performance Acknowledgements for Advanced Placement Results and Commended Performance in Social Studies. Reagan High School, who Miss Principal Annabelle Garza, I believe, is still trying to make her way over here. 1 Gold Performance Acknowledgement, Commended Performance in Social Studies. And we have 3 alternative campuses, and they're being represented by Kim Anderson, our lead teacher at Leadership Academy. And we have the Leadership Academy for attendance rates and Texas Success Initiative in Mathematics, Phoenix Academy for attendance rates, and Travis County Juvenile Detention Center for attendance rates. Now I present you with Dr. Bergeron Harris, who will be acknowledging our middle
Hold on a
schools.
second.
Oh,
Okay, now's when we got to blast it for the high school.
thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you.
And thank you, and congratulations to you, but all of your team. I know you're here representing many others who do a tremendous amount of work every day, so thank you for, on behalf of all of them from the board.
Thank you. Now I can bring Dr. Harris for our middle school.
He was thinking that applause was for him, wasn't he?
No.
It would have been, we just didn't set it up that way, Dr. Harris.
Well, we have to match that applause or exceed it. President Williams, Dr. Karstarf, Board of Trustees, it gives me great pleasure to ask you to recognize our middle school campuses who achieved either recognized or exemplary status or earned gold performance acknowledgements from the Texas Education Agency. As I call their names, they will stand. Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders, an exemplary campus. Principal is Jeannie Golka DeBose. The middle school director is Christina Waugh, and Ann Richards received 6 gold performance acknowledgements, for attendance, commended performance in reading and English language arts, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, and commended performance in social studies. Representing Bailey Middle School is the principal.
We're trying to make sure Jeannie stays standing. There you go.
Representing Bailey Middle School, the principal is Dr. Julia Fletcher. Bailey is a recognized campus. Bailey received 1 gold performance acknowledgement commended performance in social studies. Fulmore Middle School, Principal Lisa Bush. Fulmore received 1 Gold Performance Acknowledgement in social studies. Goriski Middle School, a recognized campus, Principal is Ms. Vicki Bowerly. Goriski Middle School received 6 Gold Performance Acknowledgements in the areas of attendance, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, commended performance in social studies, comparable improvement in reading, and comparable improvement in mathematics. O. Henry Middle School, Principal Mr. Peter Price. O. Henry received 2 Gold Performance Acknowledgements, comparable improvement in reading, comparable improvement in mathematics. Paredes Middle School, Principal Ms. Paulette Walls. Paredes received 2 Gold Performance Acknowledgements, comparable improvement in reading, comparable improvement in mathematics. And Small Middle School, Amy Taylor is the principal. She could not be here with us tonight. Small received 1 Gold Performance Acknowledgement, commended performance in writing. And Webb Middle School, Principal Ray Garcia. Webb received 2 Gold Performance Acknowledgements, comparable improvement in reading, and comparable improvement in mathematics. Let's recognize those campuses.
Dr. Harris, congratulations to all the middle school folks. That's a crazy time, and every parent knows you guys are dealing with the craziest kids on the planet. So thank you all very much for what you do, and thank you for for the staff for all the great work they've done.
But we love them just
We
the
love
same.
them.
I will introduce at this time my colleague, Ms. Ariel Cloud, the Associate Superintendent for Area 1 Elementary Schools.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, President Williams, and Superintendent Karstafen. It is my honor to present the performance acknowledgements for the Area 1 elementary schools, recognizing the hard work of the students, teachers, staff, and principals on the campuses. Baldwin Elementary is a recognized school, Principal Rosa Pena, with 5 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, science, and comparable improvement in mathematics. Baranoff Elementary, exemplary school, Linda Purvis Principal, 4 acknowledgments, commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Becker Elementary, exemplary school, Lakeisha Drinks Principal, with 3 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, and science. Blazer Elementary, recognized school, Leti Pena Principal, 4 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, and science, comparable improvement in reading. Boone Elementary, exemplary school, Kathy Nowak Principal, 4 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, and science, comparable improvement in reading. Casey Elementary, recognized school, Jean Bainey Principal, 2 acknowledgments for commended performance in mathematics and comparable improvement in mathematics. Clayton Elementary, exemplary school, Drew McGovern Robinette, Principal, 4 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Cowan Elementary School, recognized campus, April Glenn Principal, 5 acknowledgments for commended performance in reading, mathematics, and science, comparable improvement in reading and mathematics. Cunningham Elementary, recognized school, Amy Lloyd Principal, commended performance in science, comparable improvement in reading and mathematics. Dawson Elementary, exemplary school, Shannon Selstrom Principal, 5 acknowledgments and commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science, comparable improvement in mathematics. Galindo Elementary, recognized school, Donna Lynn Principal, 3 acknowledgments and commended performance reading, mathematics, and science. Go Valley Elementary, recognized school, Nancy Maniscalco Principal, 1 acknowledgement and commended performance science. Joslyn Elementary, exemplary school. Jennifer Pace, principal. 1 acknowledgement and commended performance writing. Kiker Elementary, exemplary school. Principal Lori Schneider. 4 acknowledgments, commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Kasurik Elementary, recognized school. Deanna McParland, principal. 2 acknowledgments, commended performance reading and science. Langford Elementary, academically acceptable. Donna Poth, principal. 1 acknowledgement and comparable improvement in mathematics. Menchaca Elementary, recognized school. John Rocha, principal. Metz Elementary, recognized school. Valerie Galbraith, principal. 1 acknowledgement, commended performance mathematics. Mills Elementary, recognized school. Pat Butler, principal. 4 acknowledgments, commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Oak Hill Elementary, exemplary school. Catherine Mitchell, principal. 6 acknowledgments, commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Comparable improvement reading and mathematics. Odom Elementary, recognized school. Sandra McWilliams, principal. 3 acknowledgments, commended performance in mathematics and science. Comparable improvement in mathematics. Ortega Elementary, academically acceptable. Ana Pedrosa, principal. 3 acknowledgments, commended performance reading, mathematics, and writing. Palm Elementary, recognized. Joanne Garza, principal. She's ill this evening and unable to attend. 1 acknowledgement, attendance rate. Patton Elementary, exemplary school. Alan Stevens, principal. 5 acknowledgments for commended performance reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Comparable improvement mathematics. Pettis Elementary, recognized school. David Kaufman, principal, represented tonight by John Wright, the assistant principal. 1 acknowledgement for commended performance science. Rodriguez Elementary, academically acceptable. Monica Villaseñor, principal. 2 acknowledgments for comparable improvement in reading and mathematics. Sanchez Elementary, recognized school. Azucena Garcia, principal, represented by the Sanchez Teacher of the Year, Marta Sanchez. 2 acknowledgments, commended performance mathematics, comparable improvement mathematics. St. Elmo Elementary, exemplary school. Adriana Gonzalez, principal. 5 acknowledgments, attendance rate, commended performance in reading, mathematics, writing, and science. Sunset Valley Elementary School, academically acceptable. Kimberly Placker, principal. 2 acknowledgments and commended performance mathematics and science. Woodane Elementary, academically acceptable. Kim Royal, principal. 2 acknowledgments, comparable improvement in reading and mathematics. Williams Elementary, academically acceptable. Joan Bertino, principal. 1 acknowledgement for commended performance in reading. And Zavala Elementary School, recognized. Sean Fox, principal. These are our 32 schools from Area 1 who are worthy of
Let's give it up for the Area 1 folks.
And
Thank you all.
And continuing our smooth transition, here is Dr. Maria Hohenstein to introduce Area 2 schools.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, President Williams, and Superintendent Karstafen. Here are our principals from Area 2. Andrews Elementary, Lori Barber, principal, comparable improvement in mathematics. Barrington Elementary, recognized campus, commended performance in mathematics, and commended performance in science. Barton Hills Elementary, exemplary campus, Katie Ochterman, principal, commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, comparable improvement in reading, and comparable improvement in mathematics. Blackshear Elementary, recognized campus, Betty Jenkins, principal, commended performance in writing, comparable improvement in mathematics. Blanton Elementary, recognized campus, Dora Molina, principal, commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, and comparable improvement in reading. Brentwood Elementary, recognized campus, Catherine Williams Carter, principal, unable to be here today. We have Amy Cortez, the AP, commended performance in science and comparable improvement in reading. Brown Elementary, Veronica Sharp, principal. Comparable improvement in reading and comparable improvement in mathematics. Bryker Woods Elementary, exemplary campus. Jane Cronky, interim principal, unable to be with us tonight. Nikki Murphy, assistant principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science. Cassis Elementary, exemplary campus. Patty Martin, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science. Cook Elementary, Wendy Mills, principal. Commended performance in mathematics and comparable improvement in mathematics. Davis Elementary, exemplary campus. Doug Hall, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, comparable improvement reading, and comparable improvement mathematics. Doss Elementary, Jana Griffin, principal. Exemplary campus. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in math, commended performance in writing, and commended performance in science. Graham Elementary, exemplary campus. Blaine Helwig, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science. Galette Elementary, exemplary campus. Janie Reese, principal. She was ill tonight and wasn't able to attend, but in her stead is Kay Gooch, who is the librarian. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, and commended performance in science. Harris Elementary, Gloria Arredondo, principal. Comparable improvement in reading. Hart Elementary, recognized campus. Leslie Dusing, principal, unable to be with us tonight. In her stead, David Dean, assistant principal. Commended performance in reading and commended performance in science. Highland Park Elementary, exemplary campus. Tammy Workman, principal. Attendance rate, acknowledgement, commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, and commended performance in science. How many commendeds have I said already? Wow, okay. Hill Elementary, exemplary campus. Beth Ellis, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, and commended performance in science. Lee Elementary, exemplary campus. Elise Smith, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science. Maplewood Elementary, recognized campus. Vicki Jacobson, Kathy, principal. Commended performance in science. Matthews Elementary, exemplary campus. Amy Kincaid, principal. Commended performance in reading, commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, and comparable improvement in mathematics. McBee Elementary, recognized campus. Rafael Soriano, principal. Commended performance in writing. Norman Elementary, Floretta Andrews, principal. Commended performance in writing and comparable improvement in reading. Oak Springs Elementary, Monica Woods, principal. Unable to be with us tonight, we have Dr. Cantu, the AP. Comparable improvement in mathematics. Overton Elementary, recognized campus. Gilbert Hicks, principal. Commended performance in mathematics and commended performance in science. Pease Elementary, recognized campus. Donna Martinez, principal. Commended performance in mathematics, commended performance in writing, commended performance in science, and comparable improvement in reading. Pecan Springs Elementary, Elaine McKinney, principal. Commended performance in writing. Pickle Elementary, recognized campus. Joel de la Garza, principal. Commended performance in mathematics and comparable improvement in mathematics. Pillow Elementary, Tanya King, principal. Comparable improvement in mathematics. Riley Elementary, recognized campus. Ana Garza, principal. Commended performance in mathematics, comparable improvement in mathematics. Sims Elementary, Frida Mills, principal. Commended performance reading, commended performance in writing. Summit Elementary, a recognized campus, Ms. Ann Lilly, Principal. Walnut Creek Elementary, Paul Pettis, Principal. Comparable improvement in reading. Wooldridge Elementary, Sherry Mull, Principal. Comparable improvement in reading and comparable improvement in mathematics. Wooten Elementary, recognized campus, Ron Bolick, Principal. Commended performance in reading. And Zilker Elementary, recognized, Randy Thompson, Principal. Commended performance reading, commended performance writing, commended performance science. These are our awesome Area 2 principals. Let it all die down before you come up here. Oh, no, it's Paul Cruz.
Thank you, Dr. Hohenstein. So, of course, we're really excited about performance. I'd like for all of our campus principals to please stand.
Now we give the big hoop for all the principals all at one time.
So, in summary, in 2011, 85 campuses earned a total of 236 gold performance acknowledgments. A heartfelt congratulations to the campuses recognized today. You should be very proud and know that we as a district and as a community are very proud of your accomplishments as well. Congratulations to all of our campus staff, parents, and of course, our really smart students for the hard work they do every day. And thank you to the board and the superintendent for your leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. Ms. Moya.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize Annabelle Garza from Reagan High School, who just arrived, and she slipped in while all the recognitions were going on. So please give her a hand for Reagan High School.
Annabelle, each of the high school principals had to sing their high school fight song. So if you want to go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
In 2011, changes to the state's accountability system made it more difficult than ever before for a school to earn a rating of exemplary or recognized. In spite of the increased standards, 23 schools earned the state's highest rating of exemplary in 2011. These more rigorous standards were also used this year to determine recognized status, the state's second highest rating. In spite of the increase in standards, 33 schools achieved a rating of recognized. For 2011, 85 campuses earned a total of 236. You know, Paul, you just took my whole thing away, and we had to rewrite it twice. So just bear with me. Or three times. For 2011, 85 campuses earned a total of 236 gold performance acknowledgments, and are recognized this evening for exceptional performance on measures ranging from college admission scores to attendance. It is with great pleasure that the Board of Trustees of the Austin Independent School District celebrates the accomplishments of the 88 schools that achieved exemplary or recognized status or received one or more gold performance acknowledgments. Congratulations to the students, families, and staffs of these schools. So moved.
Is there a second? Second, Mr. Torres. All in favor of that motion, please raise your right hand. Passed unanimously. One more time, congratulations. Awesome work. Are they coming forward? Do you want to have them come up? All the principals come up? So do y'all want to come up and give us some love, or what do y'all want to do? Or do you want to just run out the door as fast as you can?
The high school people are sitting in the front.
So they want to, okay. So even though we're not giving you individual love, please know that we love each of you. Thank you for all of your work, especially love all your staff and your teachers and the kids that you serve every day. Thank you for what you do. Please relay to all of the people that are not here our appreciation. Keep up the great work. I know that goes on a little bit long, but that's okay. The more of you we have here, the better it is for all of our students. So thank you very much. Y'all, good luck the rest of this semester. I know high schools are in finals, middle schools are in finals, so good luck on that. Have a great holiday break, and we'll see you back next year. So let's let them file out quietly and for... Okay.
Congratulations, buddy. That's great. Good job, guys.
Thank y'all. We feel the love all the way back there.
What's too big?
We need a safety patrol for y'all as you go out there. Y'all be careful. Have a great evening. Thank you.
You could have sent them out after, right?
Okay, thank you all very much for hanging around, letting that transition occur. I want to give you a brief update. Each year and annually, we are required by law to announce the names of board members who have completed the required continuing education and who has exceeded the required hours of continuing education and who is deficient in required continuing education. And in 2011, all AISD board members exceeded the required minimum number of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 continuing education hours, which includes board orientation, Texas Education Code training, Texas Open Meetings training, team building, legislative update training, and other types of continuing education. Not all board members take all the same training, is evidenced by what I'm about to tell you is that the hours, which I'm required to read, is that over the past year, Tamala Barksdale had 33.25 hours, Cheryl Bradley had 30.25 hours, Christine Brister 21.25, Sam Guzman 22.5, Annette Lavoie 13.75, Lori Moya 43.75, Robert Snyder 38.25 hours, Vincent Torres 23.75, and I had 61.25 hours. That's not sure exactly why that happened, but so some would say you could never tell, could you? Okay, so anyways, we have to give that update. Thank you very much for bearing with us as we do that. And then now's the time we're going to turn to citizens communication. And I want to say, as we get here, I know that we have a full slate, 30 members that signed up. That was a very full slate early this morning. People even came early, weren't able to get here. I know we saw a number of emails for people that weren't able to make it that forwarded us what they would have presented. Our apologies for not getting everybody in. What I'm going to suggest as we go through this evening, that is if somebody is representing your opinion, your belief as they speak, please stand up so that way we can see that even those who aren't speaking have the opportunity to be felt like they've been heard. And we appreciate your indulgence and patience as we go through this. So board, now's the time we'll turn to citizens communication. And this is the time we dedicate each regularly scheduled board meeting for public comments. And under the open meetings law and the rules of this board, there will not be a dialogue between the persons at the microphone and those at the dais, but we'll be taking notes. In order to provide as many opportunities for input as possible within a limited time period, each speaker will be allotted 2 minutes with a maximum of 30 speakers allowed. As is the board's longstanding practice, speakers must have signed up in person, can sign up only for themselves. The board will now allow substitutions or yielding of time to others. As you come to the microphone, there's a device that will light up. as you see it, and it'll move through your 2 minutes of allotted time. When the buzzer sounds, please take the opportunity to sum up your comments so we can move on to the next person, and each person who has signed up will have the opportunity to address the board. If you wish to address the board this evening but were not called when the maximum is reached, please know that you can always submit your comments in writing by email to the board at trustees@austinisd.org or by fax at 414-1486. And obviously, we got a lot of comments that way, but please feel free to continue to submit them at all. And we ask tonight, that in every night, whether you come to give a complaint or praise, that you please reference the staff member by position or by abbreviated last name, for example, Mr. D or Mrs. A, unless you're addressing the superintendent of schools or the board, and then feel free to address us directly. The district is the local governmental body charged with serving the educational needs of all students, and both board meetings must be focused on meeting that charge. All regular board meetings are televised and rebroadcast on AISD Cable Channel 22 and over the AISD website. And we ask that audience members, whether speaking or not, please show respect for all others at all times. And the Communication Services Department provides a Spanish language translator for audience members who need translations assistance when addressing trustees or need assistance understanding comments made to trustees during citizens communication. If you need the service during other portions of the meeting, please speak with the interpreter. And Ruby Azar-Shea, one of our communication specialists, welcome, is here, and she will repeat this message in Spanish.
Buenas noches, mesa directiva, presidente Williams y doctora Karstarfin. Mi nombre es Ruby Sarshey. Mis compañeras y yo de la Oficina de Interpretación estamos aquí para ofrecer servicios de interpretación a quien los necesite durante la Junta.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go through the 30. Again, I'll call them in groups of 3. As is my custom, I will mispronounce most every name on here, so I apologize in advance. Please speak your name when you come up and fix me up. And again, my apologies for mispronouncing, but thank you all for being here. Appreciate your patience as we went through the rest of the meeting, and we'll go with Citizens Communications. Aurelia Garza de Cortez, Vincent Tovar, and Julian Madrano.
Good evening. My name is Oralia Garza de Cortez, a leader from Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church and a member of the strategy team for Austin Interfaith. Austin Interfaith is not ideologically opposed to in-district public charter schools or charter schools in general if they help strengthen all public schools. In fact, we are working with AISD and Education Austin to explore a campus-led in-district charter school on the south side. We've been laying the groundwork for over a year through countless conversations with teachers, parents, and the community. We are not opposed to the prospect of IDEA having an in-district charter, and we recognize the district's efforts, your efforts, to improve our schools. However, if you want lasting change, we think the district should take the time to work the proposal over. We've met with IDEA, and they seem amenable to addressing some of the concerns that we've brought up. From our organizing experience in schools, we have learned that any effort to change the culture of a school requires an engaged community working collaboratively. So tonight, we raise 3 important criteria that we think that you need to consider when any in-district charter proposal comes before you. Number 1, is there ownership for this plan? Has the community embraced the plan? To paraphrase the great LBJ, if you want me in on the landing, you better have me in on the takeoff. Number 2, does the plan maintain existing feeder patterns and the integrity of neighborhood schools? If not, we will never know if success at a school was due to innovative strategies or creaming. Number 3, are teachers and staff treated as respected professionals with the labor rights that they're entitled to? It is disingenuous to think that we can care about the needs of children without also being concerned about the adults that we entrust and hold responsible for our children's development. With our in-district proposal, we intend to hold ourselves accountable to this criteria. So tonight, we urge you to go back to the proposal and work this criteria in so that it will level the playing field. Austin Interfaith, supports innovation and creativity, and we support bringing in collaborators like IDEA as long as we keep the public in public education and as long as we do not forego
Please
our
wrap up.
responsibility to strengthen all of our public schools.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Okay, Vincent Tovar, Julian Madrano, Angelica Noyola.
My name is Vincent Tovar, and I'm a Go Valley parent and honored to be a part of the Eastside Memorial High School vertical team. But we noticed some of you that we're unacceptable. But it's getting confusing to all of us. Is it because of our scores? Or in your opinion, is East Austin unacceptable? Are East Austin families unacceptable? Are East Austin kids unacceptable? Can human beings, not human capital, be unacceptable? When you listen to the majority of these speakers tonight from the Eastside Memorial High School vertical team, please don't see them through an unacceptable lens. They are above and beyond exemplary, and they are above and beyond any label. But here's what I think is unacceptable. Having numerous IDEA staff taking community seats and keeping East Austin families in the cold tonight was unacceptable. But isn't that symbolic? Having numerous IDEA staff taking community seats and keeping East Austin families in the cold tonight, including my kindergarten daughter, in the cold tonight was unacceptable. Not giving us the survey results to the second Martin meeting and the second phone survey is unacceptable. Having IDEA cancel a support rally on Saturday, December 10th is unacceptable. Having IDEA recruit at Santa Julia Church on December 11th is unacceptable. Misleading us and saying TEA is discussing Eastside Memorial closure when I've met with TEA and they're saying no such thing is unacceptable. Refusing to acknowledge respected researcher Ed Fuller in local media reports is unacceptable. Fast tracking this process is unacceptable. Asking families to come in and sign up to speak during school drop-off times and come to this meeting tonight during dinner time and bedtime is unacceptable. And this IDEA in district charter proposal is unacceptable. Thank you.
Julian Madrano, Angelica Noyola, Caroline Sweet.
Hello, President Williams, Dr. Christopher, and the School Board of Trustees. I'm currently a junior at Eastside Memorial High School at the Johnson campus. I don't think putting an in-district charter school and Eastside vertical team will be the best for me, my classmates, and our future students. Our vertical team doesn't need an in-district charter school to be successful in having strong feeder schools, improving tech scores, and enrollment. Eastside doesn't have a strong feeder middle school because our school is viewed negatively by the board and the superintendent. If you want our school to have a strong feeder pattern, then please change your transfer policies in the Eastside vertical team to give Eastside Memorial a chance to build on our improvements. It is obvious that if the high school is viewed poorly outside of our campus, parents won't want their kids to be enrolled. Are you absolutely certain that this IDEA charter school will successfully meet the needs of our community? I ask this because in introducing a new and untested concept to the district like this is similar to shooting a target blindly. It is highly likely we will miss the target altogether if there is even a clear target to begin with. What is your plans for robotics, chess club, National Honor Society, band, sports, etc.? IDEA has not indicated that these activities will be available once they take over. The sheer thought of that scares me. It makes me uncomfortable that you will vote tonight when there are so many unanswered questions. I'm also afraid that IDEA will alienate the great robotics mentors that helped me today and helped me be the person I am. Eastside Memorial Robotics team has been improving for the last 2 years. We went from being rookies in the first robotics competition and then going to the finals this past year. We have learned new skills in animation, programming, and designing from professional engineers and adults. You are a board of trustees. We are opposed to having mutual trust between you and the community. Please look at what you already have to work with and trust that the staff you hired to continue to do the job you hired them to do. Trust your students who are already working hard and accomplished amazing things. Give credit to where credit is due, and we will trust you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Angelica Noyola, Caroline Sweet, Andres Tremino.
Hello, my name is Angelica Noyola. I have lived in East Austin my entire life. I attended Allison, Govalle, Martin, and I graduated from Johnson High School. I'm here on behalf of the children in my family who attend Allen Elementary, as well as the children of my friends and neighbors. I've been advocating for East Austin since I was old enough to hold a picket sign with my mother's organization, Poder. As a longstanding member of the East Austin community and a taxpayer, I've seen many changes for the good and some that were damaging to East Austin. IDEA is not the best fit for this community for many reasons, most importantly because they do not respect this community. IDEA paid rent and deposit on Met's Recreation Center for a community information session Saturday. They did not show up, nor did they notify Met staff that they had canceled, so community who did show up would know they could go home. IDEA may have money and time to throw away, but we don't. It demonstrated that IDEA thinks that the community's time is not valuable. IDEA students and staffs have signed up to speak tonight. I think that shows a lack of respect to this community. They are our children, our schools, and this is time for us to have a voice. If they wanted people to hear from IDEA staff and students, they should have showed up to their own meeting on Saturday. Many community members hold church as a very special and sacred place. What kind of business or persons would invite discord and protest to a place of worship? I tell you who, IDEA did, as they were out attempting to recruit students from the congregation of Santa Julia Church in East Austin yesterday morning. IDEA has shown they have no regard or respect for the time, opinions, or religious beliefs of this community. Tom Torkelson came to my office in East Austin to meet with community members and stated this community was full of professional protesters. And for the record, I am not a professional protester, and neither are my friends, my neighbors, or community. We speak up because we care about our kids. How dare he assassinate our character by applying otherwise? IDEA is voted in. If IDEA is voted in and parents have an issue, they will need to take it up with IDEA Board in South Texas. What guarantee do we have that an organization that has shown no regard for this community's input or outcries will actually listen to the parents' wishes? AISD board members, I implore you to not invite this type of business into our community, our schools, and the lives of our children. You have within your power to settle the unrest that has plagued this community. Just as the same-sex schools were dropped from the portion of the facility's master plan timeline, the IDEA in-district charter can be removed at your discretion. If you as the board member have even one question that is unanswered to your satisfaction regarding IDEA, please vote no. The desire of one should not be focused and placed upon many.
Just like Caroline Sweet, Andres Termino, and Paul Mani, please.
Chapter 29 of the Texas Education Code specifies each district with an enrollment of 20 or more students of limited English proficiency in any language classification in the same grade level shall offer a bilingual education or special language program. It goes on to say that bilingual education will be offered in kindergarten through the elementary grades. We, bilingual educators, are confused as to why the district would promote an elementary plan that only provides English immersion in an area where so many families speak Spanish. I encourage you all to look at the same data and graphs that district representatives use in staff development to explain our transition to dual language. Long-term success rates of children receiving English immersion is significantly lower than those enrolled in bilingual and dual language programs. I know firsthand the benefits of educating students in their native language as well as English. I work every day to make sure that my students have access to quality education in both languages. I thought, up until now, that my district valued bilingualism, and now I'm not so sure. To create an elementary on the east side that does not offer native language instruction is an example of an exclusionary practice. IDEA claims to not cherry pick, but by not using a bilingual education model, they are systematically excluding a large group of students, more specifically, my students. Today's vote is not the end. Whatever the result, I will continue to make sure that bilingual students have access to high-quality bilingual instruction because it is not a privilege, it is their right.
Thank you. Andres Termino, Paul Mani, and Brittany Nobles.
My name is Sandy or Andres Tremino,
And I'm here on behalf of 3 of my grandchildren who are with the school district, and also of a group of interested parents and professionals. Because of the topic that they asked me to present, what I would like to do is just mention the topic, which is use of statistics and research in education, especially in decision-making. I would like to skip the discussion on the topic and go to the end where it says, in guise of conclusion. I'm going to wait until, if you would, until the papers are passed around.
Yeah.
Keep going?
Yeah, please.
Right. In guise of conclusion, I would like to respectfully summarize my request to you all, and I'm learning to say that. As a matter of fact, I come from Arkansas. So, number 1, please consider the enormous attainment of East Side Memorial in its incredibly short time of operation. Number 2, kindly take into account all the consequences of whatever action you take regarding East Side. Number 3, above all, I petition you to continue your good work in giving every student the best opportunity he or she deserves in order to better his or her life through as good an education as it can possibly be for him or her. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir. Paul Monty, and I may be mispronouncing that, my apologies, Brittany Nobles and Andrea Nerio.
Good afternoon, President Williams, Dr. Karstoffen, and the board. I'm currently a junior at Eastside Memorial. I'm here tonight to state a few of my many concerns about the idea charter that is supposed to be taking over my campus and a new interim principal coming in next semester. This charter school, I believe, would initially discourage many students, myself included, from coming back next year, no matter when it is implemented. Low numbers are the main problem at our school, according to our superintendent, Dr. Karstoffen. Creating a situation where Eastside is slowly being phased out of existence is only going to reduce numbers further. You are all professionals, so you must know that an unstable and unpredictable environment cannot be successful. This unpredictability is something that I am surprised we have come through. As a freshman, I got to Green Tech and learned we had to become a passing school as soon as possible or we wouldn't have a school. Well, we made gains, and those gains weren't enough for us. After 2 years, we had enough momentum behind us to truly turn the corner. We had a plan to keep our acceptable school going in the right direction. We had student support, parent support, faculty support. It felt like a family, like a home away from home. But then there was the change in leadership. The new leadership was not the problem, but the loss of the old, proven leadership was. Now our new principal has announced his resignation. Why? Why didn't we keep what was working? We were on a proven, successful pathway led by Mr. Grady, my favorite staff member on our campus. He got demoted, and now the position is open yet again, but he still can't have it. It's really quite infuriating. I'm pretty sure that parents vote for y'all to represent our needs and wants, and I know of one person that is here that definitely is not representing our community's needs or wants, and that is surprisingly our district's board member, Sally Guzman. The board usually votes with the board member for any changes happening in that district, but that would be very, very wrong to do tonight, because Mr. Guzman's decision does not have the students in his district best interests at heart. This is very disappointing, but I know we still have a chance if the rest of the board members will listen to my plea and give me, my classmates, and future students a well-rounded education worth looking forward to. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And
Hi, my name is Brittany Knowles. I'm a sophomore at Eastside Memorial at the Johnson campus. I was at a march on Saturday where I saw a girl holding a sign that said Eastside Memorial is unacceptable. First of all, this information is inaccurate. TEA has rated Eastside Memorial academically acceptable. Secondly, as a student at Eastside Memorial, I have never been told I was unacceptable. As a matter of fact, Eastside is one of the most accepting campuses I have ever set foot on. I am a vice president of the GSA, Gay Straight Alliance for Eastside Memorial. We have the largest GSA of many high schools in Austin, even though we have less than half student population of other schools. Students at Eastside feel safe to be themselves. National statistics show that the suicide rates of gay teens are much higher than their straight peers. Gay students experience more bullying, harassment, and alienation. This is not the case at Eastside Memorial. Bullying is not a problem at our campus. I truly feel like we accept each other. Eastside is really like a family. Teachers are a part of the family feel here. Students feel like teachers truly care about us. It feels good to be a Panther. As board members, it's your job to support and represent our communities. Our community have a voice. Are you listening? We don't want idea. We are acceptable. Accept us now. Thank you.
Okay, I've got to call three names, but I'll make sure everybody understands. Please be supportive but respectable as we go through this. And I again apologize if I mispronounce names. Andrea Norio, Marina Herrera, and Andrea Rojas.
Hello, Superintendent and Board of Trustees. I'm Andrea Nerio, and I'm a junior at Eastside Memorial at the Johnson campus. Our own district seems to perpetuate a negative perspective of our campus and our students, but they fail to recognize the incredible hard work and brilliance that walks our campus on a daily basis. It is not fair to us when you use the history of our school struggles against the current students. We are making great progress. Our test scores were not only passing, but every area improved by double digits. I'm here tonight to introduce you to real Eastside students. Mariela is a junior who takes 1 hour bus ride with her 2-year-old son and 6-month-old daughter just to attend Eastside. She works hard in her classes and gets all A's and B's. She is an amazing mother to her children, and she only misses school if one of them is really sick. How will IDEA serve students like Mariela? Because as of now, nobody has talked about teen pregnancy, sex education, or childcare for teen parents. Brandon is a sophomore who has lived in and out of different housing projects all of his life. He is currently the sophomore class valedictorian and participates in many school activities. As a sophomore, what will happen to Brandon as IDEA phases in and Eastside dies a slow death? Ashley takes AP classes and sings in the top choir. She is also the captain of the Glamour Girls dance troupe. How do you explain to Ashley that she must sacrifice her choir class and dance troupe for a high-quality education? Isn't it AISD's job to provide her with all three? We have a life skills student who has been at Eastside for 2 years. She inspires me to give 100% in everything I do. She is active on our campus and in our community, and I worry that IDEA would not meet her needs. What color shirt, if there is any, would she wear at an IDEA school? I wish that you would come to our campus more than once a year and that you would shake the hands of these real Eastside students. As I complete this, I would like to urge the members of the Board of Trustees to vote no to the IDEA charter school proposal. We are acceptable and accept us now. Thank you.
Thank you. Marina Herrera, Andrea Rojas, Ken Serfis.
Good evening. I'm Marina Herrera, mother of 3 children who have been through the San Benito and Consolidated Independent School District. We lived half a mile from a brand new, beautiful building IDEA Academy built in San Benito. But my children chose to continue in the SBC ISD. They were given an option that the students of Eastside Memorial will not be given if IDEA takes over their school. My boys graduated from San Benito and excelled in sports. We moved to Austin just this August, and after much debate, research, and discussion, my husband and I, along with our daughter Victoria, decided that Eastside Memorial is where she belonged. Not only because it's where her father, grandmother, grandfather, great aunts, and great uncles attended, but because Victoria would get lost amongst a sea of students at another high school that she had the option to attend. As most young ladies often stray away from math and science, Victoria was no different. Victoria struggled through elementary and junior high. Entering freshman algebra this year, I was concerned, but thanks to the loving, supporting, and attentive staff and wonderful teachers at Eastside Memorial, along with the help of Sylvan, Victoria has excelled to obtain a B honor roll and a 100 on her algebra report card. Victoria is one of many who are pouring their hearts into their education and activities. In attending Victoria's extracurricular activities, I have noticed a lack of parental participation. But despite some home issues, the children of Eastside Memorial have decided that not to use that as an excuse. They have surpassed their goals and are trying their best for themselves and for their community. Don't give up on our children. I'm not opposed to the idea of ID Academy itself, but please, don't take our campus from our children. Their goals in this high school setting are much better to obtain than if an ID Academy were to come in. It's a lot easier for them to excel here in this setting with each other than in another school, with another school coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrea Rojas, Ken Serafis, Gabino Fernandez.
Hello, my name is Andrea Rojas. I'm a senior at Eastside Memorial High School at the Johnston campus. I have been at Eastside Memorial High School since my freshman year. I remember walking inside the building and right away being greeted by teachers and staff. Throughout my years at Eastside, I have engaged in many activities such as choir, PALS, and student council. I have been involved in choir since my freshman year, and I am now happy to say that I am choir president. I have overcome many obstacles at the school, such as my fear of public speaking, singing in front of my fellow classmates, and my fear of giving my opinion. The teachers, students, and staff at Eastside Memorial have and always will be my family. I honestly should not care about the charter school change since I will be graduating in June. There's something about the school that makes me want to fight. Maybe it's the fact that people who think bad of our school only see the bad things that affect our school and not the positive ones. Attending Eastside has made me be and feel successful. People tend to think that the students at our school are failures, which is not true. There are students who choose to learn and those who don't, and I am here as the voice of the ones that do. Everything is based on choice and commitment. We work for ourselves and for the betterment of our schools. With or without the support of our board of trustees, we would do all that is needed to succeed, but we all need a little push in life. You never know what might happen. Maybe among our students, there will be someone who will find a cure for cancer. And so I say, hoping you will listen. Leave our school the way it is. This is what's best for our community.
Thank you. Ken Serafis, Gabino Fernandez, Luke Muskowitz.
Good evening, Dr. Karstarpin, board members. Thank you for this evening. My name is Ken Zarefis. I'm co-president of Education Austin, Teachers Union, Teacher and School Employees Union here in AISD. I think it's well known what our concerns are around IDEA, academic delivery, the concern around labor issues, and the lack of engagement. What we're most concerned around right now is the lack of honest engagement with the community. And if I could, for just a moment, I'd like to read a question that was sent out during a survey. Number 4 on the phone survey was, would you be willing to slow down the process if it included the possibility that the state education agency could close down Eastside Memorial High School as early as the next school year? That question is leading and manipulative. It is not a question that solicits an answer from the community if they wanted to slow it down. What we need to do when we engage the community is an honest, direct dialogue. Do you want to slow down? But that wasn't the option that they were given. Do you want to slow down, and do you want to risk closing the school? The idea around TEA closing Eastside Memorial High School has been greatly overstated. They are not closing it next week. They are not closing it in a couple of months. And to mislead the community is a way of manipulating the community to be afraid of what might happen, but is not going to happen. It is very important that we not only, you are elected officials of this community. It is incumbent upon you to not only represent, but to respect the community's wishes. And I encourage you to have the courage to listen to all these people, these students, these parents, these teachers. These are the community. And if you're not listening to them, I don't know who you're listening to, because these people are telling you what's important. I encourage you to vote no on this proposal. Please listen to your community.
Thank you. Jacobino Fernandez, Luke Muskowitz, and Tracy Jesse. Mr. Fernandez, are you here? Okay, we'll come back to him in case. Luke Muskowitz, and I apologize, I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that. Tracy Jesse and Elijah Cofield.
Good evening. I'm Luke Miskevich, father of a Metz Elementary third grader. I have serious concerns with the proposal to partner with IDEA putting charter schools into East Austin. I'm no expert, but in listening and reading, I still have 3 questions that deserve honest discussion before you move forward. First, what's wrong and what's right in our East Side schools? Inadequate yearly progress is a metric, not a reason. Coming from Lee Elementary, we're blown away by Metz. Mr. Sanwesa, not only is he the best teacher my daughter's ever had, he's the best I've ever known. And he's not alone. These folks are exceptional. I know Metz won't be directly affected, but have you learned all you can from them? Have you tried to spread the quality you already have in the East Side? If you can't identify and explain exceptional from mediocre, how do you know what to preserve and what to replace? Second, how does IDEA work? What have they figured out? What can they do that we can't? Curriculum, teachers? Or are they simply not educating kids with the most difficulty learning and behaving, thereby improving test scores without even having to increase student performance? Not clear. How will IDEA keep its promise, and at what cost to other priorities such as dual language instruction? Third, is it right for Austin? At your meeting last month, I heard the frustration, and I also heard how others have placed their hope in charter schools, so why shouldn't we? Not good enough. Desperation and peer pressure makes bad decisions. This is Austin, Texas, and you're our school board. If you can't tell us why this is right for Austin, it's not. Bottom line, I don't want to feel like my district is punting when they should be huddling their team and figuring out how to move down the field. This is Austin, these are our kids, and we deserve better.
Thank you, sir. Tracy Jesse, Elijah Cofield, and Pete Montoya.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Jesse, and I'm the instructional coach at Eastside Memorial High School. I'm very concerned about the lack of details and the speed at which the IDEA Charter School proposal is being pushed through. I, too, was taken aback by the survey that came out a couple of weeks ago. That question that suggested that the state would be closing Eastside Memorial as early as this year. I asked this question once before. Since when has the state of Texas ever closed an acceptable school? The fact that that was part of the survey, I too found misleading. Let's be honest. It's a district decision, period. After over a decade of state unacceptability, Connor Grady led a faculty and a student body to an acceptable rating within 2 years. Mr. Grady's leadership and dedication inspired those around him, including me, to work harder than they have ever worked before, and we succeeded. But that success was not celebrated by the district. Instead, they chose not to reinstate Mr. Grady as principal, and now we are faced with a potential closing. It leads some people to believe that the district is not supporting Eastside. Success isn't a finite point, it is a journey, and we were moving on a proven path. Graduation rates were up from 2007 at 45% to 70%. Dropout rates went down from 29% to only 5%. Tax scores went up by double digits every year in order for us to get that acceptable rating. I, too, don't believe that acceptable is good enough. What I want is to be put back on that proven, successful journey. say no to IDEA and say yes to Connor Grady and the success of Eastside Memorial and the students that go there.
Thank you. Elijah Cofield, Pete Montoya, Robert Dominguez.
Good evening, President Williams, board members, and Dr. Karstarf. My name is Elijah Cofield, and I'm a junior at Eastside Memorial High School. I just wanted to talk briefly to you about this IDEA charter and it not having sports. I think that all schools should have sports because it helps students be responsible, respectful, and also help them understand what it is and feel like to be on the team. Eastside Memorial sports are doing well. Last year, our soccer team went to the playoffs, and this year, our football team went 5-5. We're trying to build a program, but we can't because this charter is going to take all the blood, sweat, and tears that each athlete and each coach has gone through for the last 3 years. Eastside Memorial has amazing students and coaches. We all work together to help each other fulfill our dreams and goals. I have some facts. Eastside Memorial graduation rate went from 45% in 2007 to 70% in 2011. Dropout rate has gone down from 29% in 2007 to 5% in 2011. In tax, we have increased scores 21% in only 2 years. We are acceptable. Accept us now.
Thank you, sir. Pete Montoya, Robert Dominguez, Larry Amaro.
Good afternoon, President Williams, board, and especially our superintendent, Dr. Christopherson. I'm a member of the community. I went to Johnston High School, went to Go Valley, went to Brooks, and I have a son at Eastside Memorial. I commend all these students that are here tonight. They're very, very right in what they're saying, but it's not for those students that we have to worry about. We've got a whole lot of other, and the teachers are wonderful, but there's something that we're doing that's not right. You heard all the commandments that you gave tonight. Commentary here, gold medal there, gold here. And what about us in the East Side? I commend you, board, for having given instructions to the superintendent to try to find a solution for our problem. I've seen you put it off, put it off, put it off. You know what? One of these days, by the numbers, Hispanics are going to run Texas. We need our education. We need our education. You know, every time that you put it off to make a decision, it's another year lost in the life of our students. I would ask you to use your wisdom and make a decision. A lot of people criticize Sam for having pushed Allen and East Side, but somebody has to make a decision for our children, our kids. We're not going to lose those teachers that are there. You heard them. You heard the students. They're dedicated teachers. It just needs to be some adjustments to get our kids a different direction. And I want to ask you to please make a decision to try ideal system. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Robert Dominguez, Larry Amaro, Drew Chevrolet.
My name is Robert Dominguez. I want to thank the board and all the members of the leaders here. Also, I can't pronounce her name correctly, but I always say her Dr. C, and she understands, you know. I stand here tonight to thank all the boards, like I said before, but a special thank Mr. Guzman for the job you've done. The long hours, also Dr. C for her job and her staff. And also especially to all our opponents that we have here, they've done a great job too. You know, they also deserve a good hand. But here I stand, yes, for IDEA was an opportunity for all students at Eastside, at Eastside, to attend to this program. Not only just one, all of Eastside. That's my opinion that I brought. Okay, it's time for a change. We can't live in the past. It's time to, make a change for the district. I also have one more here that I'm not going to take too much time because we don't have a lot of personnel. It says here, as I speak, we have students at Eastside Memorial High School at Johnston campus who are failing math and chemistry. What about them? The question is, how do you know? I'm an ex-Johnston Ram, I graduated in 72. I'm also a concerned parent. That's all I have here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Larry Amaro, Drew Sheberly, Luisa Avilla.
Good evening, President Williams, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Christoffen. I just want to show that we can get together, an in-district charter school. This is an idea from the IDEA people. So I'm looking forward to that because the kids I've met from IDEA, from the trip that I went down there in person to see all those kids the way they were, I can just picture that here in East Austin. And what a wonderful community we would have if we could bring them here. And I know that these students that are here today are willing to work with our students as well. Now, I remember 4 years ago, people were saying, they're not going to close Johnston High School. There's no way they're going to close Johnston. It's almost 50 years that we've had the school, but yet what happened? They actually did. And we don't want to see that again. We want the school to excel, to get better. Acceptable is not acceptable to us. We want to go beyond that. And I know that this board is not like the boards that we've had in the past, because this board has shown that it cares about Johnston. And I think I don't know, one of the papers had one board member saying we should just close the school. But I don't think that's the right attitude. I think when someone needs help, we need to help that person. When an institution needs help, we need to help that institution. We've got to help the school, Johnston, for the future, and the kids to have a system in place that can do that. That IDEA system has proven that it can. And we want to have that in East Austin so that we can have that excellence in education that we deserve. Thank you. Please vote yes for IDEA.
Drew Sheberly, Luisa Avilla, Debbie Fuentes.
Good evening, Superintendent, Trustees. I'm Drew Sheberly at the Austin Chamber. I wanted to thank you for your time as trustees. It's a tremendous time commitment. We're here to support the overall adoption of this facilities master plan, and we want to encourage you to vote for each of the components. I think you all know the arguments in favor of it. We've been involved on the discussion of each of the various points. We've taken a look at it. Nothing is perfect, but this is a very good start to what needs to be a continuous annual process. I've heard some speakers talk about slow down. A year ago, I was out in Beijing and Wuhan. I saw classes of 50 kids jammed into schools, focused on learning. They're high school students, all of them taking math beyond Algebra 2. They've been learning English since the first kindergarten. We have our students who are competing with the Chinese, with the Indians, with the rest of the United States. In the last 60 days, we looked at all of the open positions in Austin. We've seen 2,400 open IT jobs that all pay $70,000 and above that we can't fill locally because we don't have enough students who have the right math and science backgrounds. I look at the strategic plan that you all have adopted and your goals for 2015, and I look at them today. You want a 90% high school graduation rate. Today we have a 78% high school graduation rate. If we had a 90% graduation rate, that would be 500 additional kids who would have walked across the stage last spring. If you had hit your college readiness number of 70% as opposed to 53%, you'd have had an additional 800 kids who would have been ready to start college without remediation. So we get paid by butts and seats, right? And so this is a way to get both things, both a charter school in district where you get to keep the money, but also a way where you get to provide an option for students. So we hope you'll adopt the entire plan, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. Hold on, guys, hold on. Let's not have, certainly not booing. Sport what you sport, but we know there's opposition and proponents. Luisa Avilla, Debbie Fuentes, Matthew Randazzo.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Luisa Avila, and I graduated last year with our first graduating class at the IDEA campus in Brownsville, Texas. And I am here to support the in-district charter between AISD and IDEA Public Schools simply because of the results that I myself and my class has created. And I'm sorry if throughout this 2 minutes I get emotional. Right now I feel like I have to defend my own accomplishments. First of all, with IDEA comes a parent, student, and school commitment. A compact commitment where sometimes sacrifices need to be done in order for a child to receive an education that each student has the right to have. So an example, my mom, she's a single parent with 4 kids, 2 who went to IDEA, including myself, and 2 who are currently in college. I'm not gonna lie, the uniform policy with IDEA created a financial issue at home. But my mom decided that wasn't gonna be the barrier between a great education and myself, a great opportunity and myself. So my mom went out and got a second job. At the end, sacrifices were worthwhile because of the person that IDEA helped me become. My mom has always told me, tú puedes eso y más, meaning you can accomplish that and much more, all throughout my IDEA career. And IDEA has helped me reach goals that I have never imagined before. It hadn't even crossed my mind before. I graduated as a salutatorian of IDEA Brownsville campus. IDEA, I just want to let everybody know, IDEA is not a cookie cutter, and teachers do not teach everybody the same way. They treat individuals as individuals and teach them in certain manner. IDEA is just not an idea of a great education, it's real. It's happening right now all over the Valley of Texas, and I am proof of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Debbie Fuentes, Matthew Randazzo, Cynthia Wilcox.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
Hello. My name is Debbie Fuentes, and I am also part of the first graduating class of IDEA in Brownsville. I am a first-generation student, and I'm attending St. Mary's University in San Antonio. I'm here to share my experience at IDEA. I was forced to enroll as a 9th grader, and it was a very difficult transition for me, simply because I had a hard time adjusting to the new curriculum, having to meet new people, new friends. Even though I wasn't able to participate in the extracurricular activities I planned to if I were attending in my community high school, I learned that I had to do whatever it took to get quality education, which is an essential ingredient to one's success. I persevered, focused only on my education, and soon came to realize that IDEA was more than just learning in a classroom. IDEA from 9th to 11th grade has taken us to DC, New York, Chicago, and various other universities here in Texas as well. I learned that there was more that I could do out there than stay in the valley and do what was expected of me. Before IDEA, I never imagined that studying physical therapy in San Antonio was within my reach. IDEA helped make it possible. It hurts to know that people do not want to accept IDEA's help, and all I wish for is that every single student to have the same opportunities that I had, and a very good education that every child deserves. Therefore, I support IDEA. Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Randazzo, Cynthia Wilcox, Alejandro Delgado.
Good evening, Dr. Karstarfin and trustees. I'm here obviously in support of the in-district charter school partnership between IDEA Public Schools and the Austin Independent School District. IDEA was founded 11 years ago with a simple belief that all students, regardless of their background, regardless of their race or ethnicity, regardless of their socioeconomic status, regardless of their parents' education, regardless of their special needs, that all of these students, if educated properly and given the support that they need in partnership with parents, all students could be on a track for college. And we're excited by the opportunity for a partnership with the Austin Independent School District where we can help support students on the east side, but more important than that, this is about a next generation of partnerships between ISDs and charter schools where we collaborate and share best practices to drive results for all students. Part of our theory of change is that through partnering with public institutions, by partnering with the Austin Independent School District, their senior leader, their teachers, their school leaders, their parents, that we can ultimately learn from one another to drive ambitious, college-ready results for all students in Austin, but especially for those students on the east side and in the East Side Memorial Attendance Zone. So I encourage you all to consider this proposal for an in-district charter school. I encourage you to take a look at the work that's been done nationally on this work, where great ISDs and great charter schools have partnered for one purpose: to drive great college-ready results for all kids. So tonight, I hope you'll consider this, and I hope you vote yes on a proposal to partner with the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Cynthia Wilcox, Alejandro Delgado, Geneva Govia Oliva.
I'm sorry our neighborhood's issue is on the agenda tonight when there are so many important things to take care of. Last year, AISD accepted a bid on a small property in the very center of our neighborhood from a developer who didn't have the money to close. This year, there are 3 bids. One's from a respected conservation group that has the overwhelming support of our neighborhood, as you all know from the hundreds of letters you've received. One's from an Austin builder who tried unsuccessfully to work with the bidder who dropped out last year. But the bid on your agenda tonight is from an LLC formed 2 weeks prior to the bid. No track record, no website, no employees, no development experience, nothing. Unacceptable. Their address is an apartment that's on Brody Lane. When he submitted the bid, this young man who formed the LLC said, quote, "I'm not interested personally in buying it by any means. I don't have that cash." It's not appropriate or responsible to accept this bid. There are 2 other bidders who are legitimate organizations, and the Native Prairies bid is the one most likely to close. The bidder himself wrote you a letter saying, quote, "We prefer the Native Prairies bid to be accepted and the land to be left as it is forever." It is a waste of resources, staff time, and thousands of dollars on real estate consultants to accept another bid that either won't close or will turn out very badly for another neighborhood in AISD for 4,000 kids, constituents, and taxpayers. Facilities staff told bidders you would consider whether our neighborhood supported a bid when you were deciding on which bid to vote for. We hope you'll keep that promise tonight. You're throwing our neighborhood under the bus if you vote for this bid. Even if you didn't care about our neighborhood or the recharge zone or any of that, it still makes no sense to accept this unqualified bid. AISD, Austin can't afford AISD doing things that don't make sense, even if facilities staff recommends them. Please reject this bid. The law gives you till January 13th to accept a legitimate bid like the one from the Native Prairies that's a win-win for AISD, for Austin's water quality, and for the kids and adults in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Alejandro Delgado, Geneva Govia Oliva, Alma Barrios.
Thank you for this time to speak, Dr. Karstarfin, President Williams, fellow trustees. My name is Alejandro Delgado, and I support IDEA Public Schools. I want to begin first with something beautiful I saw this morning just in the corner. Two of my former students, Luisa and Debbie, who just spoke, and the other students representing Eastside Memorial, spoke with each other for about 20 minutes. I was so impressed by the Eastside students and the passion and dedication they had for their school, and I understand how this is a very difficult issue. And it was also probably the most civil discourse I've seen over the past couple months. But I'm here to support IDEA, and I want to give some context first. I'm a native Austinite, attended AISD schools from kindergarten to high school, graduated from Bowie High School. I will, however, speak tonight as a former high school teacher at IDEA Public Schools in Brownsville, including proud teacher and mentor to Luisa and Debbie now that they're at St. Mary's University in San Antonio. I'll begin with my story. 3 years ago, I arrived they were 10th graders, and I was a first-year teacher at IDEA teaching high school history. 2 years before, on their social studies exam, 53% of my students passed the tax test. It was one of the lowest passing rates in the entire state. My principal was like, "These are your students." And with the help of the principal coming in at least weekly to help me with my instruction, with the help of the team, with the help of our disciplinary structures at IDEA, as well as like our individual intervention plans for every single student, including our English language learners, our special ed students, our behavioral students, we made a plan, we executed, and by the end of the year, the way I told my students, including I think Luisa's in the class, I said, "Guys, this is how you did last year." And I wrote 53% on the board. And they're like, "Sir, we know." And then I wrote, "This is how much you increased this year." And I wrote 47%. And then Stephanie Diaz in the second row yells out, "100%?" And the whole class goes crazy. It was one of those moments that you'll never forget. And I'll never forget it because we showed that it was possible. Now, the second year, I had them again, and we did great. So let me end with this. In conclusion, I'd like to request that the trustees think deeply and critically about this question. Is AISD providing the most exceptional life trajectory changing education to students on the east side of Austin? If the answer is yes, then vote no to IDEA. If the answer is no, then I would strongly encourage you to vote yes to allow IDEA to work with our partners in the community and in the schools to ensure that all children here in Austin receive the education they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. Geneva Govia Oliva, Alma Barrios, Rosemary Rositas Mendez.
Good evening. I am Geneva Govea Oliva with LULAC District 7 and a Johnston High School alumni that does not support IDEA. I have been in front of this board and the board before you many times. I'll go back to 1989 when I was the PTA president for Allen Elementary and was presented by the school board AISD Volunteer of the Year. I fought for the students at Allen to have handicap ramp and restrooms for handicapped students, which by law you were out of compliance. I also fought for a fence around our early childhood playground, and I even went to J.J. Pickle's office in Washington to get the bridge built behind Allen for the safety of our kids, which was dedicated to Geneva Govea Bridge. I spoke for the safety of our East Side students, and I continue representing our students. I was the last PTA president for Johnston High School and the first PTA president for Eastside Memorial at the Johnston campus. I presented Eastside at every meeting then, and remember that during the time that we presented the board with the tax schools, it was supposed to benefit our students for at least 4 years, which it didn't happen. You have changed our schools, taken our principals away, and brought in other principals that don't know and understand our students. You did all this without informing our community and without having community input. Do you see what you're really doing? Does all this really make sense? My opinion, no, it doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't make sense to a lot of us. Enough is enough. Ya basta. Do you really care about our students? Well, you should, because we are parents and community citizens that will vote for someone that will hear us out and for someone that will not sell us out. You need to know that we vote you in, trusting that you will support and stand by our students. I hope that you understand and hear our East Side students out because they are our future. It's what they want and not what you want. So vote no to IDEA. It's a wrong idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Alma Barrios, Rosemary Rosita Mendez, and Rebecca Ledesma. Ledesma.
Buenas noches, señora Castarfen y miembros de la mesa directiva. Mi nombre es Alma Barrios. Soy madre de familia, 3 niños en Go Valley y 1 en Eastside Memoria. Y estoy aquí para decir...
Good evening, Superintendent Karstafen and members of the board. My name is Alma Barrios, the mother of 3 students at Go Valley and 1 student at Eastside Memorial High School.
Estoy aquí para decir que no estoy de acuerdo con la idea de poner una escuela charter llamada IDEA.
I'm here speaking to say that I do not support the IDEA charter school plan.
Dicen algunos miembros que ellos quieren que vote por la escuela IDEA, que es mejor para los niños, pero son mis hijos y yo como madre de familia no estoy de acuerdo.
I'm told that I should vote for what's best for the children, but they're my children, and as an involved parent, I should be part of the decision, and I do not agree.
En esta escuela IDEA no tienen la educación bilingüe para mis hijos. Mis hijos han estado en una escuela bilingüe y han recibido buena educación en este programa. También la superintendente ha dicho que quiere una educación bilingüe en un programa llamado lenguaje dual. Entonces, ¿por qué crear una escuela charter para nuestros hijos con un programa que elimina la oportunidad de aprender, leer, escribir, analizar y practicar su propio idioma? ¿Es que acaso quiere que los americanos aprendan el idioma español y nuestros hijos olviden el idioma natal?
This IDEA school does not have bilingual education. My kids have been in bilingual classes and have received a very good education in this program. The superintendent has said that she wants bilingual education in a program called dual language. So why is she going to create a charter school for our children with a program that eliminates the opportunity to learn, read, write, analyze, and practice in their own language? Does she want American kids to learn Spanish, but for us to forget our native language?
No estoy de acuerdo con la escuela que tiene el privilegio de empujar a un estudiante a otra escuela por no tener su uniforme o por tener problemas de mal comportamiento. Si es una escuela pública, de verdad, tiene que manejar todo tipo de estudiantes.
I do not agree with a school that has the right to send a student to other schools because he or she does not bring a uniform or has behavioral problems. If it is a true public school, it should handle all types of students.
Estamos haciendo demandas a la superintendente y a la mesa directiva escolar para abandonar esta idea y ofrecer a dar a las escuelas públicas los recursos que necesitan para un plan para todas las escuelas y estudiantes que tengan la oportunidad de buenos programas y así poder ir a la universidad.
We demand that the superintendent and the school board abandon this idea and focus on giving the schools in the community the resources they need and make a plan for all schools and so that students can have access to good programs and be able to go to college.
Gracias.
Thank you. Rosemary Rosita Mendez, Rebecca Ledesma, and Megan Buchanan.
Good evening, Dr. Karstarfin, AISD school board members. I'm Rosemary Rositas Mendez, and I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in East Austin. I attended Ortega Elementary School and graduated from Reagan High School. After graduating with honors from St. Edward's University, I returned to my community to serve our children as a bilingual teacher. After 22 years of service to our students at Go Valley Elementary, I come to you as a teacher and as a parent of 3 children whom all have attended, and one who is presently attending Go Valley. Many teachers are surprised with the IDEA model. Are surprised that the IDEA model, which includes 90% direct instruction, as well as a focus on test preparation, is being labeled as best practices in delivering instruction. In AISD, the majority of what we have been trained in by the central curriculum and instructional staff is the implementation of evidence-based practices. For example, guided reading, less teacher talk and more student talk, daily 5 dual language, whole child development, etc. The IDEA Charter School implements a curriculum instruction model that appears to be drastically different from what AISD has trained us to implement. This is a major conflict and a crisis about what AISD is promising to our children, especially in East Austin. Education is our business, and curriculum instruction is the core of it all. An open debate about this serious conflict must occur before any vote on a change in direction happens. This kind of debate can't happen in 1 hour tonight. We all agree that change is necessary. We're not afraid of change. We're willing to be a part of that change. Let's make sure that the decisions made tonight is in the best interest of the education of our children.
Thank you, Rebecca Ledesma. I'm mispronouncing, my apologies. Megan Buchanan, and I'm going to go back to Gabino Fernandez in case he showed up.
Okay. Good evening, school board members. I have attended meetings and heard numerous objections to the idea of charter school. But what everyone really is saying is they want the best for their kids' educational future. So tonight, I would like to announce a Get It On campaign. First of all, I have heard that in the previous years, AISD has not given the quality of education that the East Side is expected and rightfully deserve. Well, now is the time. We have been given an opportunity to advance our teaching methods on the East Side for students regardless of race or financial status. Statistics have shown to be a success since 2005. Take, for example, the two young ladies who spoke earlier. Change is the key word here. It has taken some time, but let's get it on. Another issue was taxes. Well, believe it or not, your taxes are going to pay for school education regardless of what type of teaching structure AISD decides on. Hopefully, after tonight, it is of the highest standard, excuse me, that the type that does not require shutting down your local high school. So I say, let's get it on. Then there's the subject of teachers. I truly believe that our children should be exposed to those teachers who are highly trained, excuse me, motivated, and have compassion to teach. After all, they're with our children majority of the day. Because the idea of charter school is structured to accept only those who meet these standards, I feel tremendously confident that our children will reap the benefits. So let's get it on. In closing, I want to applaud Superintendent Karstarfin, sorry, and the board members in recognizing the urgent educational need for East Side. Please, let's get in partnership with the idea of charter school and educate our children. Let's get it on. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, one more. Folks, hold on. One more. Megan Buchanan, welcome. I'm going to say Gabino Fernandez. Is he here? Okay. Oh, Ms. Fernandez, there you go. Two more. Ms. Buchanan.
Dr. Karstarfin, I've heard you say that some people value educating the whole child. I would argue that many of those people are sitting in this room today. Austin ISD's core values include providing a high-quality, well-rounded educational experience to all students that is rigorous, culturally relevant, healthful, and engaging. The current proposal will force families, like Debbie's, to choose between what you call superior education and the classes they love in the arts, not to mention the fact that IDEA offers such limited access to sports in a time when childhood obesity has reached epidemic proportions. Let me tell you about Eastside Memorial at the Johnston High School. At the Johnston campus, I'm sorry. Our choir program started with about 10 Eastside students 3 years ago. This year we have around 140. With a school population of 630, that's right about 20% of the entire school, which is extremely rare for Austin ISD. Our band program started with 8 and reached 80 last year. Art grew so large we hired another full-time teacher this year. Dance has also exploded. Our dance team, color guard, and drill team fill up a large portion of the stands at football games. Students are coming to Eastside because of these programs. Even with all of the constant changes and lack of district support, these programs give students a sense of pride in their school and in themselves. Arts and athletics motivate students to work harder in their other courses, challenge them to think creatively and innovatively to solve problems. For some of our students, these classes are the only reason they get up and come to school. Our schools are acceptable. What is unacceptable is denying East Austin students access to visual and performing arts, and you should not even be considering it. If you say yes to IDEA, you'll be saying goodbye to quality arts education and no to the whole child. And now, in the spirit of the season, I'm going to end with a carol. In the first year at Eastside with new technology, reconstitution relationships were building, test scores improved. In the second year at Eastside, we lost fidelity. Reconstitution district cut our funding, students lost their laptop score, still improved by double digits in all areas. In the third year at Eastside, we are acceptable. Dropout rate at 5, graduation 70. Miracles are working, but wait, there's more.
Please wrap up.
Now the district says that's no good. We demand much more, so we think you should become a charter school. In the fourth year at Eastside with IDEA Charter School.
Please.
Oh, sorry, there's no fine arts.
Please.
This is not about being the first to try something new or getting it on. This is about keeping our promise to our students
Ms. Buchanan.
and our
wrap
future.
up.
Please stand up for all of our Eastside Austin students and help to see that they ensure to have a continue whole child education. Thank you.
Thank you. Gabino Fernandez, you're wrapping it up.
Tough act to follow. My name is Gabino Fernandez. I'm the LULAC District 12 Director and Coordinator of El Concilio, which is the Coalition of Mexican American Neighborhood Associations. And I come to you on the day that we celebrate all over the world the miracle of La Virgen de Guadalupe appearing before Juan Diego in Mexico City. And with that spirit, we come before you to hopefully, and we pray to her and God that we will see a miracle today by you voting no on the IDEA proposal. It is very interesting that while all the data is being sent out, that a LULAC a colleague from the Valley sends me a newspaper from the Monitor, and in the headlines it says, "Study, IDEA success skewed." And this is something that, information that is kept from our community. What we want, the latest AISD statistics show that 60% of the student body in this district are Latinos. We should be driving the bus. We shouldn't be a trailer attached to the bus. We need to educate our children through AISD. AISD should not be abandoning our children and throwing out our children out of the family of AISD. We are not orphans. Our children should not be left as orphans. And the educating of our children is not for sale. We should not put our children on an auction block to the highest bidder. We are taxpayers, and we expect and demand that equal education come to our community through AISD, so that when our children graduate, their diploma will say Austin Board School of Trustees, not IDEA Charter School. You need to treat and respect our people as humans with respect and dignity. Your vote tonight will be remembered on November the 6th, and November 2012, when we walk into that ballot box. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you all for being here. Appreciate your voices. Again, my apologies that not everybody got a chance to speak, but hopefully your opinions were represented by those that were able to speak. We've got a couple things on the agenda before we get to, I think, what many of you all came for, but we'll go through this first. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda board, and as you recall, item 13.1 was removed, and it'll be scheduled for a meeting in January for discussion with the board. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Mr. President, I move approval of consent agenda items 10, 11, 12, 13.2, 13.3, and item 14.
Second. Is there a second? Ms. Torres. Any discussion? All in favor of that motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed? Abstain. It passed 7-1 with one abstention. Did you get that, Elaine? Passed 7-1-1. Okay, thank you, board. Okay, board, now we're going to move to the superintendent's report. We've got a couple items on the agenda. Well, yeah, actually, certainly one before we get to all of the AAFR. So Dr.